Welcome to Happy and Healthy with Rich and Beautiful. I'm Andrea, I'm a nutritionist from the Natural Path Science, and all I would love us to do is fall in love with the abundance of nature, with all these beautiful plants that make us beautiful by their effect. And today I brought you one of my favorites, and this is all coming from my garden, and that's rosemary. You might all know it, but from now on, put it into your awareness. This is always why I have this little Buddha, to have awareness for certain plants. And what does it do? It makes you happy, literally, because rosemary has a very mood enhancing effect, and it also makes you more concentrated, and it gives you it's not a coffee, of course, it's not caffeine, but as soon as it's in the room, you will feel that you feel a bit lighter and nicer. And for cooking, of course, the Mediterranean diet is full of rosemary dishes. In all different cultures we have rosemary. And what I do, and if you are a therapist, if you are a speaker, if you are someone that is working with seminars and with rooms, if you come to my seminars, you will always get a little branch of rosemary in the beginning, and that is to help your concentration. If ever there is a flaw and you kind of fall asleep, you have this remedy. And it also makes a really nice connection to your audience. So if you can try to have plants that you can place in the rooms, actually all the exams at university or in school should be held with at least one little leaf of rosemary in the hand of the students, and once they get tired, they put it under their nose and they have the scent. So it is really interesting. There's a whole science of what is happening to our brain when there is a certain aromatic substance, a certain scent of a plant in the room. And I can recommend you the works of the university in Newcastle that is doing a lot of research on the effect with very positive results. So for you, just two things you need to know. First of all, fresh rosemary is always the best to use. And if you use it, for example, like you have it in the Italian kitchen or in the Mediterranean diet, any other diets as well, if you use it in a sauce, this is a mixed tomato and vegetable sauce I had prepared with some olives, of course, with garlic, because it goes very well with rosemary. You do not cook this with the sauce from the beginning. I would suggest that you put a branch of the rosemary in the sauce in the end, like you see, you can just put it in here and just let it soak. It still has to be hot, and then the flavor without bitterness will come into your food. We have to be a little bit cautious with the bitterness once it gets too hot. And for example, if you want to do rosemary potatoes or rosemary flavor for grilled veggies, sometimes it's even better, rather than pouring the needles on it and then they burn, it's sometimes better to put in the end a rosemary salt. And that is something I do regularly with the rosemary I have in my house. For the rosemary salt, you better take the dried rosemary. So of course, I have already, as you can imagine, I have all types of rosemary here. We start with the needles when they are dried, because you take a branch, you put it in your room, and I always advertise making something beautiful with it. So you just hang it somewhere, the whole branch, if you get a big one like this. And then you wait until the needles are dry, and once they are dry, they can easily be taken into a jar. And of course, you don't eat the wood. So you have then the needles, and you have a very high quality sea salt or any salt that is with the minerals, and then you can mix it in here directly. So the flavor of the rosemary will now come out of the needles, but it will still be very big pieces. What you could do alternatively, and that's something I love, this is a pure rosemary powder. All I did, I took the dried rosemary and I put it in the mixer in order to make a powder. You see it's still nice and green. This goes to many friends and to my children also as a present. They absolutely appreciate to cook with it because they are used to it for many years. And so that would be the pure rosemary, and then you can dose how much you want of it. And also the flavor is still very strong, but it's not bitter. And what I did here, you see the difference in colors. Here I have actually produced a rosemary salt. Put it in a mixer, in a grinder, have a very fine salt, and you would be amazed how long the scent, the flavor, the aroma keeps, even if you store it. So that makes wonderful Christmas presents, or presents if you are invited somewhere. And what you might not know, you can take rosemary also as a tea. So you just pour hot water on it, and this tea will activate the organism. And then you have all the preparations like a foot bath, and you can smudge with rosemary. So this is not our chapter, but rosemary to me is a truly holy plant that in the same time is so it's very friendly and gentle. And if you see the picture later, I have a huge rosemary now in my garden that grows and grows, and now it's October, it does make more flowers again. It is almost like the plant has a soul, and showing us, here I am, I can help you with your anxiety, I can help you with your depression. Also very interesting, people that get very sad and very depressed, working with rosemary is a wonderful idea. So I wish you all the best with your rosemary preparations. And as I said, if you are a conference giver yourself, never forget to put at least a rosemary plant in the room, or help your audience with little rosemary pieces also when you travel. It's a great thing, and I wish I could give this through the camera, but you will have it as soon as you have the plant. Thank you. See you next time.